Howdy all! Welcome to the preview of my first ever Backyard Ultra. Let's get right on into it. Now, before we get into this video any further, I feel like I need to clarify something. Now, I just want to make this abundantly clear. This is not where my Backyard Ultra is taking place. Just because it says Backyard Ultra in the title does not mean it happens in my backyard. Now that we've got that clear, let's move on with the rest of the video. Right, now we've done that, let's get on with the rest of the video then. Let's go. Right, let's get started off with the first question. Naturally. What is a Backyard Ultra? Well, a Backyard Ultra is a form of ultra marathon where runners will run consecutively 6.706 kilometers to be exact, until there is only one runner left. Now, therefore, there is no designated time as to when it finishes. So, it is also possible for there to be no winners in a Backyard Ultra if one of the last two runners can't finish that last 6.706 kilometers. So how did I get into the idea of doing a Backyard Ultra then? Well, it actually all started last September, where one of my cousin, who actually encouraged me to do more running, he actually gave me the idea of doing a Backyard Ultra. He explained it to me, and I honestly thought that it was insane. And so I didn't really take much thought into it after that. But then I had my parents' 60th birthday party not too long after that, and he was there, and he asked if I had put much thought into it, and I said no, because I didn't want to. And he sent me a video about the Barkley Marathons, actually, which is, of course, one of the most hardest and most brutal ultra marathons in the world. And I watched it, and I was therefore hooked. And I was like, right, where's there a Backyard Ultra in Sydney? So I found two. One of which was the St. Ives one, the Sydney Backyard Ultra, and the other one was this one that I'm taking part in, which is the I'm Still Standing Backyard Ultra in Heffron Park. And as soon as I gained interest in it, it was actually from a video that I watched from 180 Cadence, where one of their runners, Alex, took part in the event. And I was so compelled by the video and inspired by it that I actually wanted to take part in this very event. And well, here we are. We're going to be taking part in it this year. How about that? So quite simply, what is the I'm Still Standing Backyard Ultra then? Well, the Backyard Ultra, of which is the I'm Still Standing Backyard Ultra, takes place in Heffron Park in Maroubra, which is in the eastern suburbs of Sydney. It's actually its second event that it's hosted there, so it's actually pretty impressive, really, that it's come back with more interest, and it's actually got 150 runners competing this year compared to 100 runners last year. So you can tell it's definitely gained some momentum, which is not surprising considering how good the event is based on what people have said about it. Right, so how have I been preparing for the I'm Still Standing Backyard Ultra then? Well, from a nutrition standpoint, I've been getting NAC nutrition. So the NAC products that I used in my last half marathon. And it was so good then that I decided to use it again. And in fact, I actually bought some of the NAC nutritions, like the protein waffles and the protein bars, and the drink satchels as well, just to test them out. And I loved them, and so therefore I'm going to be using those in the I'm Still Standing Backyard Ultra. From a nutritional point of view as well, I'll also be obviously bringing water, all different kinds of fruits that I like, and all that. Things that I'm used to, things that will help me get through. Never changing anything, obviously, going into a race from a nutritional point of view. Don't want to upset the stomach, and that's the last thing you want to do in any race in general, really. And as a matter of fact, I've also been watching videos about backyard ultras in order to prepare myself physically and mentally, understanding what actually goes on in the 6.706 kilometers, and then in the breaks, and how long I'm going to be taking to run the course compared to having my breaks, and what else? Also setting up my Garmin watch, so then I can to ultra run mode, so then I can be properly prepared for running the ultra as well. Also having all the kinds of setups that I'll probably need, so like having gazebos and sidewalls for the gazebos, so to protect us from heat and the wind, because that's going to be a major factor in, especially when it's near the sea as well, with the high intensity winds potentially wreaking havoc, which is predicted actually on the weekend too as well. So yeah. So what is my goals for this backyard ultra? My first one, in fact, of course. Well, because this is my first one, I don't really know what it's like to go through the phases and all that. So I spoke to my mate James, who's been helping me to get better and faster in my running in general. And he said start off with the 100 Ks. So that's about 15 hours into the race. He said you should be able to do that. So that's part A. Then part B would be 100 miles, which is 24 hours. And then the part C is the 200 kilometers, which is 30 hours. So that does sound very intense, which it is, but I'd rather set goals that are potentially going to be going beyond my comfort zone, because that's really what this event is all about. It's about pushing yourself beyond what you think you're really capable of from a mental point of view as well as a physical point of view, but also not pushing yourself so hard that you're going to be out of running for like a month or so, because that is a genuine risk when it comes to this kind of event, which is why how long it takes for you to run in the hour compared to how much you're going to rest as well is also very important as well. So my strategy is I'm going to run the 6.706 kilometers in 50 minutes or so, roughly, and then have about 10 minutes to rest. So then I'm not pushing myself whilst out on the run, but I still have a good amount of time to recover when I finish each yard. Right, so what about from a weather factor then? What does it look like? Well, as I mentioned earlier, high winds are going to be a factor, considering we're close to the sea. We're like literally in the eastern suburbs, as I mentioned, and we're so close to the airport as well. So high winds is definitely going to be a issue. And also the heat is going to be a thing as well, because apparently it is, according to the weather that I've been looking at almost every day for the past few weeks and so, it's saying right as of this point now, Saturday is going to be up from 24 to 31 degrees, which is not too bad, but then if I get into Sunday, it's going to reach a maximum of 38 degrees. So hydration, of course, is very important, taking a lot of water on board, a lot of electrolytes, and sunscreen, proper sun protection and all that during the day, because I know it's going to get hot. Having good ventilation in the gazebo as well, because of the side panels is going to contain a lot of the heat, so having good ventilation. So I've got a fan that I'm going to have in there, so that's going to help me and my wife, because obviously she's my support crew. She's going to be coming along the journey with me. So how am I feeling about going into this event? Well, I've honestly, ever since I've applied for this back in November, I am absolutely excited for this, because this is something completely different. I've never done anything like this before. But I'm of course a little bit nervous, like you get the nerves and all that, but my confidence in how I think I'll do is high, than more nervousness. But yeah, no, I'm honestly so excited for this. I am mad for doing this, yes, of course, but I am genuinely excited for this. Like as soon as I finish work on Friday at 3:30, getting back home, hopefully leaving around 4:30 with all the stuff to the hotel that we're staying at overnight, and then getting up bright and early, or 4 o'clock, so not bright and early, it's going to be dark and early, and then we'll be going through the process of the morning to get ready, and yeah, we'll be off. I'm honestly so excited for this. And just also from what I heard from last year's Backyard Ultra in Maroubra was that the camaraderie and the friendships gained from this event is really good, and so that's something I'm also really looking forward to as well. So yeah, all I can say is I'm so excited for this, and bring it on. Well, that's it for this video. I'll see you when I am doing my Backyard Ultra. Take care, everyone. Thank you, and God bless. Bye.